Hey, Micah, how you doing today?
Good, man. How you doing?
I'm well, thanks. Hey, so we saw just about an hour ago, I believe it was Cody and Cam Lewis come off the COVID list, and it looks like this will be the first time that you guys do not have any active players on the list since early November. And I'm just curious, what have these last couple months been like? But also at the same time, how do you make sure that as a team, you continue to stay cautious with what's going on around the league?
Oh man, it's been chaos. It's been chaos in the sense that you never know what to expect. We learned a lot last year as all this stuff was going on, and guys were in and out because of COVID and all that. So this year just the next man in mentality like we've always had, and guys have been stepping up, and you never really know what to expect. So all you can do is just put your head down and keep working.
All right, and this is a very different question, but we talked to Jordan a little bit about Kyle Pitts yesterday, and obviously he seems to be having a very strong year, especially considering he's a rookie. So as a team who have played a lot of really top end tight ends this year, I guess what is I don't want to say the secret, but what is like the game plan or the mindset when dealing with a tight end that does have some just really special traits?
Well, I think tight ends in general are freaks of nature. Guys that can just obviously block and help in the run game, but in the pass game, they're able to create mismatches on linebackers, safeties. You put a corner on them, they're too big for them. So tight ends in general in today's NFL, are tough to guard. So you got a guy, rookie coming in that's he's a beast. He's big. He can go up and get the ball. He can do it all. So it's going to be a tough challenge for us. He's a young guy that's getting better each and every game.
Cool. Thanks, Micah. Happy New Year.
Sure. Happy New Year.
What's up, Micah? Good to see you.
You too, man.
So, such a bummer on Sunday. It was a good day for you guys, but obviously Ike, your Iowa brother going down.
Yeah.
What was that like for you guys? Because he's to me, Ike's one of those guys that really epitomizes, you guys, the story of how he's kind of worked for everything he's earned, and to see it go down. What was that like for you guys?
It's sad. It's sad. Just not even talking about football. Ike as a person is one of the best human beings I've ever met. And I can say that with confidence. Like, Ike is my boy. Like, I walk in the locker room or I walk in the cafeteria or whatever, and I see Ike, it's just an automatic smile. No matter if I'm having a bad day or not. Like, he's just a good dude. He's a good dude. And I'm a little biased because he's an Iowa guy. But just down to earth, humble, always willing to work. I guess that is an Iowa guy type thing. But, it was sad to see him, go down, talk to him the day after. Was there for him, just told him anything you need, we're here for you. And, beautiful family. And I know Ike's gonna, he's gonna take this offseason to get better and bounce back next year.
Mm-hmm. And then in terms of the Falcons, Cordarrelle Patterson, you talked a lot about him already this week. Unbelievable season, so much danger as a runner, as a receiver. What does he present in terms of a challenge you guys prepare for him, watching him on film?
Beast. He's a beast. We came in together in 2013. I was in Green Bay. He was in Minnesota. So I've had a lot of games against him. Actually, I think our first game we played against each other, he took the opening kickoff back 109 yards. And I was the only person that I had an opportunity to tackle him. And I went to go tackle him low, and I just bounced right off of him. I returned the favor by returning the punt, but that's beside the point. It's just one of those guys that anytime the ball is in his hands, he's hard to bring down. You really have to gang tackle him, and solo tackling him is really not an option because he's electric when the ball's in his hand, and it's something that you have to always know where he's at. And you see what they're doing with him. They put him in the backfield. They put him. They run screens to him. They put him out wide. He's running routes. They put him, mismatch opportunities against linebackers. So they're doing a good job moving around, and just another challenge for us this week.
Thanks, man. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, bud.
Hey, Micah. Question for you. When Trey went down about a month ago, you can't replace him. That you guys all talked about that sort of thing. How do you feel like this secondary has responded over the last month in terms of not having him, and how you've kind of filled that void?
I think that we all just understood that, what type of player Tre'Davious is, and he's like you just mentioned, he's irreplaceable. You can't plug somebody in that's going to do what he does and what he's been doing, in the league for a long time. So I guess we understood that. We all had to elevate our game individually to be able to, bring this secondary and bring this defense to where we want to go. And so, I can honestly say the guys that have stepped in and some of the guys that you don't even see, that out here practicing every single day that are putting in the work. Our group, our secondary group is honestly one of a kind. I love the guys that we have, and whether it's D-Jack or, Cam stepping in on special teams, or, Levi making some big plays, Saran coming in. It's just guy after guy after guys coming in trying to compete, and that's all we can ask.
Is there, I know you mentioned just a few of them there, but is there someone who's kind of really impressed you specifically since, in this maybe this season as a whole, that's kind of part of that group that you're like, hey, he's really putting in the work and it's showing?
Honestly, I can't even single one guy out, just the whole group in general. You got guys that whether if it's Josh Thomas, Peace Squad guy that comes to work, he's in the building when I get here. He's putting in work. He's in the hot tub. He's in the sauna. He's lifting. He's doing whatever. You got, D-Ham, another safety that is learning from the older guys and coming in, putting in work. Obviously, I mentioned D-Jack, Cam, Tim Harris. You got guys that are just, willing to put in the work. And I think that's kind of what we developed over the last 5 years. When we got here, it wasn't really like that. And so, I think the culture's kind of has changed throughout the years, and guys that are, backups and Peace Squads understand that, whether if it's COVID, injuries, whatever may happen, you got to step in and play. You got to be ready. And those guys have really, really stepped into that role.
Thanks.
Of course.
Hey, Micah, I thought your answer about Patterson was really interesting. So I wanted to follow up just in the idea of, I know you guys always you can learn more from a mistake or something like that, but is it normal for you to remember a missed tackle this many years later? Was it something about that game in particular?
Yeah, you tend to, my memory of, I guess, good plays and bad plays, they kind of stick. I think that the good players in this league learn from their mistakes and don't let it happen again. So I think that the mistakes are more key. I don't know if that makes sense. But yeah, I just remember that play. It was a Sunday night game, my rookie year. At the old dome they had in Minnesota. So, obviously it was one of the first primetime games I ever played in. So I was nervous as shit to go out there and play. And like I said, I had to punt return that game. So I was even more nervous, in front of that crazy crowd catching punt. So yeah, I just remember that opening play and just thinking to myself, wow, that was, number one, a missed tackle. I could have prevented the touchdown, but two, Patterson is real. He's good. And so, obviously he's been doing it for a long time. We're both in year 9, and I don't even know how many kickoff returns he has and how many, explosive plays he has, just through the roof. But dynamic player, and like I said, somebody you always have to worry about.
For plays like that, whether they're good or bad, like you mentioned how kind of the extremes kind of stand out, is there, after a certain time, do you remember less of them, or is it that one's going to stick with you for the rest of your career? I
hope I don't forget. Yeah, I hope it'll definitely stick with me the rest of my career. There's a lot of good plays that I, in my memory bank that I can talk about and be very, very detailed of what play happened, what the play call was, time in the game, what year it was, all that type of stuff. But yeah, I think that as you get more and more years in this league, you're the good ones remember the mistakes and don't let it happen again.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Hey, Mike, how you doing?
Good, man. How you doing?
Good. I know this is the opposite side of the ball, but just with everything Emmanuel Sanders has gone through the past month, what does it mean to you as a teammate to see him keep showing up to work and contributing for this team?
Hey, that's E. That's E. Ever since he got here, he's just number one is a guy that I respect before he got here, just because we have mutual friends and just hearing about him before he got in the building, I already knew what type of person he was going to be, and he's kind of that dog for us. He comes here every single every single day, and he works. And he's an older guy, somebody that the young guys can learn from. So what he's been going through the past month, obviously he's just a phenomenal person to come in here every single day and still have a smile on his face and put in the work.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
All right, Mike, I wasn't going to ask a question, but since you dwelled on the missed tackle on Patterson, I'll ask you about a good play, see if you want to dwell on that a little.
Right.
The interception in Atlanta, 2017, that you had. I mean, that was kind of that. I remember that game as like the start of the no cheap deep versus the Buffalo Bills anymore game.
Yeah.
So what do you remember that interception?
Was actually two of them. I think you're talking about the first one. They took a shot downfield, went up and got it. They ran a TRC return. I'm thinking that the corner was going to fly high to help out the other corner because he was getting a post. But instead, he kind of stayed low. I ended up just turning and running with the high guy. And then usually they ran that route. If I remember correctly, they ran that route with Julio and Mohamed Sanu, but they were both out. So they ended up running it with, what's his name? Jet. The nickname was Jet. Ended up playing Gabriel.
Yeah.
That ended up playing for Chicago a couple years later. Anyways, threw it up to him, and I was able to go up and get the ball. And I think that was a big game for the Buffalo Bills organization. New coaching staff. I think that took us. They were the defending Super Bowl contenders, so they won the NFC that year, the year before. And so we were going in, and a lot of people thought that we stole it from them. And so that was a big game for us. A lot of momentum. I think that was a big game that year that we really realized that we're a good football team, and it kind of gave us that playoff push, to keep playing well.
All right. Good memory.
Thank you.
Hey, Mike, I wasn't going to ask one either, but I just read that I look forward to seeing guys, but he particularly is coming for you. What's your response?
I'm sorry. I didn't hear your question.
Sorry. Oh, hold on. You got me now?
Yeah, I got you.
All right. Sorry. Lee Smith said he's excited to see old guys and teams for guys up here, but he specifically said he's coming for you. What is your response?
I don't have a response to anything that Lee Smith says. I'm just gonna ignore that. Maybe I'll call him. I'll respond back to him. How about that?